We are. We are live
We are live. Welcome to the
for
show.
our.
We have no
It's
listeners.
kind of the. It's kind of the eighth episode we've done, um, but it's the second live show that we've ever done. The first one we did was a long ass time ago. I don't even remember
I think it was like
when that was.
I think it was our first episode or second episode.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. So maybe, yeah, it was. I was a couple episodes in at that point. It was for sure before my 10th episode. We did that. All that to say is that it's been a while
It's been a while.
since we've hopped into a Twitter space, and it's definitely something we should try more often and get used to. And I feel like the best way to get better at shit like this is to just go ahead and do it. So,
I agree.
um,
I think we should. How is my audio quality? I noticed yours is different, but it's fine. It's just like because I mean we are having to record this to be on our phones with headphones on because it is a Twitter space.
yeah, I can hear myself in the background of yours like a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
Hmm.
But I think other than that, I think other than that, it's good. I think
I don't even.
we're off to the
We're off to the
races.
races. All right. Let me see.
Yeah. No, interesting day to do a Twitter space. I mean, there's college football on. We just had a massive UFC card that was it was in Abu Dhabi, so it started a lot earlier today.
It was
It's real odd when a UFC main card starts at noon or 1 p.m. whenever it started.
That was nice though. I
Um,
liked the morning thing. It gave you something to watch before football even starts.
yeah, yeah. See, I liked it too. Yeah, the prelim started. I think 9:30 maybe.
9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern. I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was just it's a pretty good change of pace. I mean, I feel like when they start at when the prelims start at 3, I feel like the cards end at a weird time. It's like it's kind of too early for them to be wrapping up. Like the whole UFC card will be done by 9 p.m. And, I feel like main events should be kind of later in the night, but I definitely don't hate the random middle of the afternoon
I
card.
don't like that I don't have fight. Maybe there are fights to watch right now. I wonder. Yeah, I want.
Well,
Yeah, no.
I mean, there definitely are. I know that Uriah Faber's promotion is having some is hosting some. I can't remember the name of it though. They're hosting some fights, and then there's some submission grappling going on. I don't remember which promotion is having it, but there's Angela Hill, UFC fighter, was on there. I saw, so
Eddie
there's
Bravo.
definitely some fights on.
Eddie Bravo's Medusa 3. What is that?
Oh, I think it's
Oh, that.
I think that's women's submissions grappling.
Uh, that's yeah. That's
Yeah.
something. That's for some people.
Yeah. I mean he does an invitational that's, for men. And it's real famous and popular, and like UFC fighters will go do that, and it's pretty neat. I think it's cool. One of the best submission grapplers of all time, maybe the best submission grappler of all time, Gordon Ryan, is going to be competing next weekend. So I don't know if it's an Eddie Bravo invitational, but uh, that'll be something to see. He's the consensus greatest of all time, and he's like 27 years old, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast like sometime. I think it's been a couple years now at this point, but pretty interesting guy.
I feel like I remember
Um,
that one. He's been on a couple times, hasn't he?
yeah, he's probably been on a few times. I think I only well, I watched one of them. I don't even know. I don't even know if the one I saw was a recent one or an old one or whatever it was. But I mean, cool dude. And man, we did have some interesting fights going on this afternoon
So
in Abu Dhabi.
a bit of information for you. I don't know if we have any live listeners right now. There's a popular streaming site right now. I don't. Doesn't look like we have any listeners. There's a popular streaming site that is currently running an encore presentation of 280 main card. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to
Mm.
pull that one up real quick. But just
Oh
to
yeah,
have on in the
that's
background, because we do need to discuss these. And when I did try to watch it the first time, one of these wonderful, reliable streams, you know, I I was super excited about this card, and then my stream just kind of fucked up the whole time.
that is
But
disappointing.
I did see, I don't know, I saw most of the main parts of everything. But I saw enough of Jan's fight to know that it was bullshit. But
Yeah, it was a really good fight. Really good. Uh, I mean, it was entertaining. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, and I don't know how the judges saw it that way. I mean, this happens, every week, every other week, the judges will get a big fight wrong, and it'll be a big controversy, just like this one is. I think I sent you a screenshot earlier of somebody had edited the Wikipedia page to say
oh
robbery.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and I mean, you could tell just by Sean's face when they read off the decision, and like when he was giving his interview after the fact. I feel like even he knows, he didn't really deserve that win.
yeah.
I mean, I thought Piotr Jan's wrestling really, really gave him the edge. I mean, I guess you could say that they were fairly even on the feet, but I mean, even so, like Jan's grappling, I think, far and away should have made him the winner of that fight. I think. Um, Yeah, like I don't know, the final two rounds I think were obviously his, and then I like the first one. I guess you could give to Sean O'Malley if you wanted to, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty clear that Jan had two rounds, and apparently two of the judges in Abu Dhabi did not see it that way.
I feel like, I mean, I don't know. It was close. I would like to see them fight again, but I don't think we'll get that luxury. I mean, it's not. I don't think they like each other, but it's not that kind of rivalry that they're just going to want to run it back. They both are. They both are
Yeah,
hot people to fight other people right now.
yeah, they really are. See, that's what I think is maybe, you know, now that the fight is said and done, it's like, what do you do with Sean O'Malley and Piotr Jan? And there's I do not know what's next for Piotr Jan. It's also like the split decision, the controversial split decision makes it hard too. It's like, do you move forward as if Piotr Jan won the fight, or do you just accept that the judges made a bad decision and then you give Sean O'Malley a title
This
shot, or
isn't going to be one.
or whatever you do
This
with him?
won't be one of those that Dana White goes back and is like, "No, fuck that." Or do you think it will be?
Uh, I don't I don't think it will be, just because I think it benefits. I think Dana likes it better if they just kind of go ahead and move along with Sean O'Malley, like they ride that wave. Because I mean, his stock is on the up and up regardless.
I think Jan's is about. It's about as good as it can get right now. I mean, it. I mean, I
Yeah,
think it was a little bit better about fucking 6 months ago or 12 months ago, whatever. When he just won,
yeah.
he didn't he defend the belts once or defend the belt once or no?
Um.
No, he lost it.
He did
He
not.
lost in a split decision, didn't he? No.
Yeah. No, he never defended the belt. I don't. He beat Jose Aldo to win the vacant title, and then in the next fight he got disqualified against Sterling. So he never defended it successfully.
When was the Sterling fight? Yeah,
Sucks
that
for
does
him.
suck.
Yeah, because his title reign is just. I mean, if you never defend the belt, your title reign is just not really all that impressive. Like Piotr Jan, like his primary focus should be getting back to a title shot, like whatever that looks like. He's come away with some bad split decisions. O'Malley, the second Aljamain Sterling fight was a split decision. And a lot of people, myself included, thought Jan won that
That's right.
fight.
That was in April. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Jan
Yeah,
won that
yeah,
shit too. That was bullshit. But whatever.
yeah. I'm telling you, man. He's gotten unlucky in his last couple fights. But I really don't know who they're going to have him fight next. I think there are a couple of interesting options for Piotr Jan. Um, I mean, there's Merab Dvalishvili, who's number 3 ranked guy in the world. Chito Vera, whose stock is on the up and up, a lot like Sean's is. Rob Font, who's just real technical, really great striker. Right outside that top 5 level. So I think there's a lot of options for Jan to get himself back into that conversation. He's not out of it yet. He's definitely, you know, he's still good. He's still just as good as he was when he was champ. He's just getting really unlucky in these split decisions,
So
man. It's
who's
tough.
O'Malley fighting next?
I think it should either. I think they have 2 routes. They either have him fight one more person before he gets the title shot, or they just have him fight for the
I
title.
feel like you shouldn't go from
Um,
11 to title shot after just winning one more fight.
yeah, I mean maybe, but then again, I don't even know. I don't know. It just depends on who they want to fight for that belt next. Like I don't know. A lot of the names in the top 5 really aren't sticking
I'm looking
out.
at, was it Marab? I can't fucking pronounce that shit.
See,
Abolish.
he and
Corey
he and
Sandhagen.
Sterling are really good friends. They won't fight each other. Dvalishvili.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
What about Corey Sandhagen?
I mean, he's good, but he's lost fights
Ah,
recently. He's lost to Piotr Jan recently. He lost to a controversial split decision to TJ Dillashaw.
I'm looking at these names. Number 14 right now is Adrian Yanez. Why does that name stick out?
Uh, I think he fought fairly recently. Um, I can't think of who it was that he fought
He
though.
fought somebody named Kelly on June 18th, 2020 or 2022.
Hmm.
He's 16-3. I know that name. He beats the shit out of people or something. Or,
Yeah, he knocks people out. He's a hell of a striker.
damn, should get his ass on the show.
Yeah, no, he'd be a pretty good one. Um, but if they are going to have Sean O'Malley fight one more person before he fights for the belt, I think that person that he fights should be Chito Vera, number 5 ranked guy in the world. He's on the up and up. They fought before, and Sean O'Malley lost, and then he went on this whole thing about how he's still undefeated, and it was not my favorite era of Sean O'Malley's personality. Because it is a fucking loss. Just because you don't accept it as a loss doesn't mean it's not a loss. But I'd have them run it back. I think they're both kind of at the same level where they're both almost deserving of a title shot. They just need one more fucking push. So have them fight each other again.
Yeah,
Run it back.
and if what's his name, number 3 guy, whatever the fuck his name is, he's not gonna fight Sterling, his friend. TJ Dillashaw fucking takes juice. Jan just lost. If you're not gonna and fucking Jan just lost to fucking goddamn Sean O'Malley. So I mean, like, you fucking yeah, I think you're right. I think fucking old Chito Vera is the next. And you said they fought before, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was Sean O'Malley's one loss. Yeah, no, there's no reason not to. I feel like that's your guy. You fight him, and then you get a title shot.
Yeah. I think that should be it. I think that would be the best way for them to go about it. Book them. The rivalry's good. It'll be a good fight.
Should Sterling
So
fight before they fight?
uh, I don't know who he'd fight, honestly. I can't really think of anyone. No one on this list is sticking out to me. Dvalishvili won't fight him. Sandhagen's lost to other guys in the top 5. Rob Font's lost to other guys in the top 5. Dominic Cruz is old. Well, I mean, he's been beaten recently too, so I don't know. A lot of these guys are on losing streaks right now. You need some contenders that are kind of on the up and up.
So I guess that's why the Sean O'Malley fight is so fucking appealing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, this is also, clearly Sean O'Malley's biggest step up in competition. I mean, it was something that needed to happen. Like he had to take that next step into like actually being a title contender some way or another. I don't know if fighting Piotr Jan would want to be my introduction to the top five, but I mean, he did it. He fought a good fight. He came away with a decision win that he shouldn't have had, but his stock rises too, even though it's a controversial win.
That's good sound.
It is a good sound. I didn't start off the space with it, so better late than never. Let's see. We had other good fights too. I mean, speaking of Sterling and TJ Dillashaw fought one another, kinda. Um,
Two-step
wasn't really much to it.
TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah, injured his shoulder defending a takedown, and then just that was it. I mean, they were talking throughout the fight. It was he had the injury beforehand. He told the referee about it in the locker room. He injured his shoulder, weeks and weeks ago, and he basically said, he didn't want to have to wait. He didn't want to have surgery and then have to wait over a year to get the title shot again. He said he just wanted to come in there and see if he could get it done, and boy, did he not.
No, you just can't do it. That's a big ass deal, Just shoulder that just
Yeah,
dislocates.
yeah. And I mean, I think he said he dislocated it over 20 times in practice. So like that injury is for sure worse than it was when he first
Gotta
got
be
it.
fucked. I don't know. I'm not a goddamn fucking doctor, but I would just assume that all that shit in there is fucked. Your shoulders,
Yeah.
that's no good. Shouldn't mess with that.
It's not something you want to have problems with. But, now, talking about who Sterling might fight next, I mean, TJ Dillashaw is a top five bantamweight guy that's going to be he's going to be sidelined for over a year. Not that they should fight again now anyway, but I'm just saying like a lot of those top five guys just don't really,
Basically, what you're saying
I
is
don't
Sean O'Malley needs to beat fucking goddamn Chito Vera.
Chito Vera.
What about Rob Font?
Uh, see, Rob Font is really good. I really like the guy. I think he's capable of putting on some like really good performances and performing at a very high level, but he's lost his last two fights. He lost to Chito Vera and Jose Aldo. But before that, he was good. He had a 4-fight win streak. He beat Cody Garbrandt, Marlon Moraes, Ricky Simone, Sergio Pettis, Thomas Almeida. He fought a couple years ago. Really good, real technical striker. Just throws a lot at you. Real clean. I really like the guy a lot. I think I think he could really be a serious contender.
I think fucking this. I'm looking at this Yanez Katz, Adrian Yanez, his record. He's the next guy who deserves a fucking shot against a top 10 opponent. He's number 14 right now, but he's been beating the fuck out of all his opponents.
Yeah.
Well, he had a split decision back in November 2021. He should be fighting soon. He last fought June 18th. So, shit.
Yeah, maybe they'll squeeze him on one of these end of the year cards. I don't think he doesn't have anything lined up, it doesn't look like. But yeah, no, he's good, man. He's been knocking people out, and I mean, he's on the up and up. I don't know who they'll have him fight next, but I could definitely see him getting somebody like getting into the top 10 some. Somebody like a Ricky Simone or Song Yadong. One of those two guys would be good. Just a good solid test for the kid.
16-3 is pretty good.
Yeah. And I don't think he's lost in the UFC. I mean, I think he's Yeah, he's 5-0 in the UFC. Looking good. He's gotten a performance bonus every time that he's fought. And we also had the main event going on, which was, I mean, been looking forward to that fight for some time. I mean, well before the fight was ever made. Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev,
It's
and Makhachev got it done.
it's been coming. Makhachev's the shit. Like, whether you like him or not, he is fucking good.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the question was the whole time, whether he could actually, because he's had this long streak. He's been in the UFC for a little bit. He's racked up some good wins, but he doesn't really have the resume that Charles Oliveira has. I mean, when you look back at his past couple of fights and you see names like Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler, and then you look back at Makhachev's and you see, Bobby Green, who's good, and Dan Hooker, Drew Dober, those kind of guys, like they're good, but they're not on the level, the same level of competition that Charles has faced. But Islam definitely proved he can hang with the best of them there tonight. His grappling is just intense. He just grabs a hold of you and does not let go. A lot like his coach Habib.
He's built like a brick shit house. He just like he fucking like you know who I fucking well, not to change the subject, but I said built like a brick shit house, and he also fucking he doesn't really fight similarly, but he fights in like a people shit on him. Daniel Cormier shit on him. I shit on him earlier, but fucking it's what's his name, Bilal Muhammad. Dude,
Yeah,
he finds a way to just dig it out and win. He'll beat you, however. He's also pretty fucking jacked. Like he just hits hard. He doesn't hit that fast. He's like if you fucking picked like if you're playing Mario Kart and you pick Mario and he's just well rounded, pretty good at everything, not
yeah,
great at anything.
yeah. I'd say that's pretty fair. Just a really well-rounded fighter, like, and well-rounded enough that he's hard to beat. I mean, he's very hard to beat. I mean, and he's fought grapplers, he's fought strikers, he's fought everybody, and through all of that, I mean, he's got 3 losses in the UFC, and you know, he's on like a 9-fight unbeaten streak now. I mean, you got to give it to him. He does know how to win a UFC fight. And I mean, his fight today was pretty good.
Yeah, no,
It was very good. He TKO'd the guy.
no, he's good. He punches like it's in slow motion. It's like he's in the Matrix, and
Yeah,
it finds the spot a lot of times. It's good.
yeah. I tweeted one time. I was kind of joking when I tweeted it, but Bilal was, he was still high ranked like he was. I tweeted something about him fighting Kamaru Usman next. Now, obviously, yeah, Kamaru Usman at that time was, pound for pound best in the world, looked unstoppable, just a killer. And yeah, I had some comments below that were like, Bilal, you want Bilal Muhammad to fight for the title next? And it's like, well, fuck, man, I don't know. Do you guys want to see Kamaru Usman fight Colby Covington a third, fourth, fifth time? You want to see him fight Jorge Masvidal a third time? I mean, I was trying to throw a new name into the mix,
Yeah, no,
and
fucking title shot's a big one for him, but he for sure should fight one of those other names you mentioned.
dude, he actually fought Leon Edwards like last year, and it ended up being a no contest because of an eye poke. But so like he's been in there with the current champ before. It sucked that it ended up the way that it did, but he stepped in there with him before. I can't remember how he did though. I know I watched the fight, but I just can't. I can't remember how he did. At some point, he's got to get a title shot. Like if he keeps winning fights, like eventually you got to give him one.
Yeah, you got to give him one. I mean, you got to give him some. He fights decent competition, right? Who's he beat so far? He's beat some decent people.
Yeah, I mean Sean Brady today, not a bad guy, but also like some names that maybe more people would recognize: Vicente Luque, Stephen Thompson, Damian Maya. I mean he's got some decent wins on him.
Shit, Daniel Cormier just was like, he fucking sucks. That was such an asshole thing to do.
I don't know why. I mean, he thought his mic wasn't on, right?
I think so. Yeah,
And he got caught saying that.
that's so funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's unfortunate because when you're not being listened to, you might say something that you would otherwise not want broadcast to the entire world. And I'm sure Daniel Cormier would take that comment back if he could. Bilal's a good guy too. He's a nice guy. He's on Twitter. He's funny. He doesn't deserve the slander, man. He just goes out there and wins UFC fights, but yet he attracts all this hate.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's just boring as fuck. Well, I mean, he wasn't even that boring today.
No, he was good today. It was a good fight. Damn, speaking of what's next for people, we know what's next for Islam Makhachev. They set it up all right there in the cage. Volkanovski came in. Habib said it. They are having a fight card. I think it's February 12th in Perth, Australia. Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski, 155-pound title. Fighting in Volkanovski's home country. That'll be a fucking fun one. It's a super fight. Super fights are always fun. Two champs going at it. That'll be a fucking good one. And Volkanovski's a big dude. Like I think he'll fit in at 155 pretty well. It's also something he's talked about quite a few times before, so it's not like he hasn't been thinking about it and probably preparing for this exact moment.
Wait, so what class is he going up to from what?
He's going up to 55 from 45.
Oh, that's still tiny, especially his height. Yeah, he can eat. Yeah, dude. No, he doesn't even have to like shift his diet around that much. Probably like
No, not really.
no. He should come in and fuck shit up.
Be an easier weight cut. You don't have to cut that extra 10 pounds.
God damn it.
I mean, I think he'll be dangerous.
I feel like half of our shows so far have just been talking about how fucking good he is.
Yeah. It's because he's good.
It's because he's good.
He is good as fuck. Who do you think wins that fight? Let's make predictions right now. We can circle back on February 12th when they fight. Who wins between Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski?
Makachev, because he's used to cutting down to this weight, and he's actually just a little bit too big. And the way he fights just wins it for him. Maybe not though. It's hard to know. It's just hard to know.
It is hard to know. I think I would also side with Makhachev. I think the size will be a thing. Islam's used to fighting at 155. Volkanovski, we haven't really seen him there yet, and like it makes sense why he wants to move up there and why it would be a good idea. But you never really know how somebody's going to perform in a new weight class until they actually do it. And I also think, Volkanovski, where he has had his hardest struggles in the octagon has been with submission defense. I mean, he's always defended the submissions, but grappling, I think, is where you can get him. And if Islam can submit Charles Oliveira, he can submit anybody, that he fights.
Yeah, anybody.
I mean, Oliveira has the most submission wins in UFC history, and Islam submitted him. And I mean, Oliveira tried to attack some different stuff during the fight, but none of it was really doing all that much. I think Islam's grappling is just too much. I think Volkanovski is going to struggle. I mean, he almost got finished twice against Brian Ortega. What is Islam Makhachev going to do to him? But I don't know. I mean, could be wrong. But I mean, if I'm making bets, like I said, we can circle back to this in 5 months after they fight. But that's it. We're saying Makachev defends it, gets it done.
Oh, are we?
But yeah, no.
Our audio's cutting in and out. Say that again.
Yeah, no. I think Islam and his grappling is too much. I think he gets it done. I think it'll be too much for Volkanovski to handle, even though he is a great fighter, pound for pound best fighter in the world right now. It's just hard for me to see him beating Islam.
Islam's
Just can't
fucking
really
good.
see it.
Islam is fucking good. You know who's good and is Habib's cousin. They got into it, didn't they? Him and Islam did.
Oh, yeah. Uh, yeah. It was Habib's guy, and then it was Kamzat, right?
That's who it was. Wait, was it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was Kamzat who got into that trouble.
Damn. Yeah, I think it might have been. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's different. Yeah.
and the guy that he got into that scuffle with, that's one of the same dudes that was involved. Um, like you remember when Habib he like jumped out of the cage and attacked one of Connor's guys, Dylan Dennis,
Yeah.
and it was right after they fought. One of Habib's guys in the cage like started attacking Connor. That was him. That's the guy who got into it with Kamzat. That same guy, that piece of shit. Like Connor's just standing there in the octagon, and then this dude comes up and starts throwing hands at him.
That man has a temper.
Yeah, yeah. So because I did see some comments that were like, "Oh, Kamzat can't stay out of trouble, yada yada," and it's like, that is true. It's 100% true. But also, that guy can't stay out of trouble either. He was suspended for I can't remember how much time, and he was fined X amount of money and all that shit. But two hot-headed troublemakers.
Goddamn troublemakers. Goddamn. Let's fucking go another goddamn 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes of this shit, but let's move on to a couple other topics so we can throw a couple other things in the thing. Unless you want to just do a straight UFC show.
No, we can definitely.
I have a couple things.
No, we can definitely.
Just,
Oh, do you?
We'll do a hard pivot right here. I want to talk about that China shit.
Which China stuff?
Just today, Xi Jinping just like kicking out his enemy, just being like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're gone, and like that shit. What a world to live in, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Do
not
we
ours, but like their world. Like, yeah, ours is. I mean, it's obviously interesting that these world events happen, but like to live somewhere where, I mean, I don't know, you're living in a country that's falling more and more into this straight dictatorship.
Yeah. Do we have any updates on that guy? Is he okay? Do we know?
One would assume not.
No, I imagine not. They did. I'm watching the video again, and it's so odd. That's why I laughed. It's so odd to watch everyone just sitting there watching as this dude is escorted away.
Damn.
His name is Hu Jintao, and he was general secretary of the Chinese Communist Party from 2002 to 2012. Oh, he was, yeah, 2003 to 2013. He was their president.
I think he.
Let's see. Now do what?
I think he. I don't know. I think he came back.
Oh, like after they removed him?
I don't know. It's hard to see. It looks like what I just read that he came back. Might have been. Oh, wait a second. I don't know. No, I think that was just Chinese propaganda that I just read on the internet.
Let's see. I'm reading a little bit more about the guy and that incident in particular. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really seeing much to indicate why he was removed from that room or what has happened to him since then.
Shit. No, I'm not finding anything.
Yeah, no, might have just been a power move by Xi. Just wanted to, show everybody who was boss, I guess, during their big 20th Congress party that they were having. I think that really might have been it. Who was it? This is James Palmer from Foreign Policy. Said it was to deliberately and publicly humiliate his predecessor. I mean, I can definitely see that. That does seem like some shit that he would do.
Yeah.
I'm also reading here that who whispered something to Xi Jinping before he left.
What do you think he said, and what would you say?
You motherfucker.
I'd be like, I'll kill you, you fuck.
Yeah, I don't, something like that. It's like, even for you, this is ridiculous. What the fuck? What am I being carried away for? This is nonsense. I don't know. I don't even know much about this guy. I don't know. You figure like being like a former president and like he was president of China for a decade and nobody ever really talks about this guy until this incident here.
China went through a tough spell there, didn't they? They call it like the 100 years of misery or something like that.
Oh, it
Hundred
might
years
have
of
been.
suffering or some shit. So they could have like another 100 years of like prosperity. I don't know.
Mm, yeah. Let me see. Da, 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 da. Yeah. I don't really know. There's not really all that much information on him. I mean, there is some. Uh, Apparently, under his leadership, they cracked down on protests and things like that. But like they do that now.
Yeah, no, they've only done better. They started going so hard at that they threw his ass out.
Yeah, this is all from Wikipedia, but it says here he advocated for China's peaceful development, pursuing soft power in international relations and a corporate approach to diplomacy. Uh, let's see, China's influence in Africa, Latin America, and other developing regions increased under his tenure. Really wish we had him back in power now with China maybe getting ready to exercise some of that hard power.
Yeah, I feel like the hard power moves are coming in the next 5 years. I would say. I don't know what they're gonna do though. I don't. I feel like our shows we always talk about are the same shit. We're gonna talk about some fights, and then we're gonna talk about what's his name, Volkanovski, and then we're gonna talk about somehow Russia or China and Taiwan. It goes to the same bullshit every
Yeah,
time. But it is a fucking subject that I think is going to be one of the most important of our lifetime.
yeah,
Maybe not
yeah.
though.
I mean, I definitely think so.
Maybe they'll keep it shit how it is. I think it's in everyone's advantage to just keep shit how it is. Oh, I have a question for you. Maybe somebody else listening has heard of this. Have you seen the Saudi Arabia is building the new mega city? It,
No, I don't think I
it
saw that.
covers like 34 square kilometers and it houses like 9 million people. And it's like a straight line, except it's taller than the Eiffel Tower, like height wise. But it's terrible. It's a terrible thing.
Good.
You have to look it up. It's honestly hard to explain. Anybody listen to this shit, look that up. That's crazy. And they are starting to build it. And they're gonna like have it
Oh yeah,
like a doctor's office within a 5 minute walk of you, no matter where you are. It's like fucking 9 million people into 34 square kilometers.
that seems like somewhere I would never want to live.
No.
It sounds terrible. It's like take the biggest city that you can think of and just compress it down even further. Make it even more dense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people can live that closely together and have everything just turn out okay. I think you need space. You need like land, a yard, some trees.
Yeah, that's just good for the mind. You
Fucking
need to create something and make something. You need to just fucking, yeah. You need to be able, yeah, no. Not everybody has that. A lot of people grow up in fucking apartments and shit. Other countries and shit they like. I mean, well, one other countries are just different, But a lot of people like live with their families and shit for a long time.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely not be happy living somewhere that dense. I mean, that's crazy. That's so many people to fit in such a small area. That is a lot of people.
It's ridiculous.
Like 9 million people it's like the metro area of Dallas. I'm trying to squeeze it into what did you like
34
34
square kilometers,
kilometers?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Stacked up taller than the Eiffel Tower. They're calling it the line. It's on all of these trade routes and shit like that. And they're like, oh, it's this great diverse place. It's like, no, you're just living in a fucking straight line of people. Oh, and you can get from one end to the other in 20 minutes. It's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, you see, it's like you're changing tune on the fucking on the
No,
line.
it's stupid. It is stupid, but the idea is cool. I think it would be a better practice if it wasn't fucking supposed to be like 200, I don't know, taller than the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Oof. Imagine what rent is going to be like in that place or apartments. About to be some real shitty apartments there.
Insane. Well, they already live in fucking. Wait, that's Saudi Arabia. Never mind. I was gonna say there's some places where they already are living, like in Japan, they're living in those fucking shoeboxes. A place like that could use something like this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've seen the same videos I have, I'm sure, but just people living. I mean, they basically live in like tubes. That's like where they sleep. It's where they do everything, and it's it's basically like a vertical tube that they just live in.
It's like a little coffin.
No space, no nothing. Yeah, it's like a coffin. Would be the closest thing I would compare it to. There's no room. There's no nothing. Claustrophobic people, stay away. This is not for you.
Yeah, if I stayed in one of the,
But I
yeah,
just,
no, that shit's hilarious. That shit sucks so bad. There's no way to live.
yeah, like that. Yeah, it's just no way to live. How could you? I don't know. I maybe it, I, you know, it would. I'm sure maybe it's cheaper and everything like that. But at some point, you have to realize that's not the way to live. Little super small fucking. I mean, calling it a room. Some of the places that I've seen there, calling it a room would be generous, very generous.
Why are there not tons of
And
people?
it's like, man,
Like, why would there not be a ton of people crammed in a small place like Japan or any other place, like moving in mass numbers to other places? How does Japan keep their people there? I think they have like a larger, older population, so they're probably dying off and leaving more space for younger people.
yeah. Well, that is a big problem, right? Like they say that they're not reproducing enough. That like there's all these old people that are aging and dying out, and then there's these younger generations that are coming up, but they're not producing enough people to replace the ones that are dying.
Birth rates. That's a fucking Wikipedia hole that I haven't dove down yet, but I've been wanting to. Is the fall in birth rates? It's the chemicals, man.
Oh
It's the
yeah.
fucking shit we clean ourselves with and the fucking shampoos and shit. It's making us not fertile. Are you ready to think about that shit? I don't
Yeah.
know if
I
that's
mean,
you.
it's definitely something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the particulars, but I have seen stuff like that. I mean, something is up, definitely. I just don't know what that is.
goddamn fucking. I gotta wake up pretty early in the morning, so I guess we ought to fucking wrap up our live shit at some point. We've got about fucking 50 minutes into this thing. It's been pretty good, I'd say. Definitely a UFC focused one. Are there any other issues we need to
Yeah,
hit
let
on?
me
Let's do a
see.
rundown.
Let's see. Not like, well, I don't know, not the biggest news ever, but Shane Hazel, the Libertarian candidate for governor in Georgia, being allowed on the debate stage was pretty cool to
Yeah, you
see.
told me about that.
So shout out Shane Hazel, big Bitcoin guy. I think he got over 20,000 followers, I think, on Twitter. He's pretty notable. I mean, you see him, if you're in the libertarian circle of stuff, you kind of see him all over the place. And it was just pretty cool to see a libertarian on a major debate stage. I turned on the debate not even knowing that he was going to be on there. And then, sure enough, there he was. And, I mean, just to have somebody up there talking about, really limiting the size of government and cutting taxes. He got after Brian Kemp one good time about Kemp was bragging about how much the state revenue had increased. And that, that's because taxes have gone up. And Shane Hazel asked him, he's like, do you have anyone you want to apologize to? And Brian Kemp just like stared at him, stared at the camera, just dumbfounded, had no idea what to say. And Shane Hazel's just like, yeah, you raised taxes on people. That's where you got all that money from. It's not just extra money that's been given to you. Like you took it from people.
I love that.
Also, the weed thing was good because Brian Kemp is like way off on weed. He's not one of these conservatives that's cool about it. He's way off. And he was talking about it, and he kept talking about like gangs, and he's like, we're doing everything we can to stop gang related activity and yada yada. And Shane Hazel just turned to him and was like, it's a plant, dude. What are you talking
Dude,
about? It's not some
you
crazy
need to get his
thing.
ass on the show and talk to him about fucking decentralized finance. I'd love to know what he thinks about, like, the World Bank and shit like that. I'm sure he's a big
Yeah,
fan.
he'd be a really
Yeah,
good one to have on. Yeah, he fits into like all of that kind of a
it's
crowd.
good.
That's definitely his forte. Really cool dude. Would probably be a better governor than both of those people he
These
was on
two
stage
fucking
with.
clowns that he's with.
Yeah, I mean Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. Come on,
Goddamn circus.
what are
It's
we
a
talking
fucking
about here?
circus.
It's no good. Liz Truss
What a
resigned.
fucking thing.
She,
Dude, I saw a tweet. It's like, who was the fucking prime minister, whatever her fucking thing was, when fucking Queen Elizabeth died? Is going to be like one of the greatest trivia questions ever for the next 100 years.
oh, it is,
It
isn't it?
is.
Damn, because no one is going to remember her. We only remember her because it just happened. Fast forward like 2 years
He
from
asked
now.
me in 6 months, and I'm not going to fucking know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan, that is going to be an excellent trivia question in the future. That's a really good one. 44 days is all it took. And a terrible tax plan that completely screwed up their markets and everything. Just people leaving her government in droves, just not wanting to own members of her party, not wanting to work with her. I mean,
You got to suck.
her prime ministership just never had a chance. It never really got off
It's
the
not.
ground.
The timing was wrong.
Yeah, they were just. I mean, she caused some problems, and there was already shit going on that was, it was way bigger than she was ever going to be able to solve. But Liz Truss, we hardly knew you, sister. Keep it up. I mean, I think she's. I don't know if she resigned like her seat in Parliament or anything. So
Not,
yeah, she might still be in government.
I don't know if shit or not. Shit. No.
I bet she didn't. I bet she kept it. Boris Johnson might come back and replace her,
I'd
maybe.
love it. Bring back the other fucking orange guy, too. Get him and Trump back.
Yeah, Boris and Trump just make a comeback next year.
That'd be good.
Do a rally together, like an international political rally.
That'd be a fucking
That'd be
shit show.
something.
I'd go. Yeah.
Would it not be crazy, dude? A like a rally headlined by Donald Trump and Boris Johnson would just be absolute
It
madness.
would just be fucking yeah. God damn, I feel like we're just drifting. Yeah, I don't know what
No, the crowd of people it would bring
it
out.
would mostly bring out Trump supporters, and like I don't know how many supporters Boris Johnson has. I don't even know how the crossover is.
Yeah.
You know, do you think those two groups of people would get along? I don't think so.
I think they probably
I think the
wouldn't.
fucking Trump people are probably more nationalist and fucking anti fucking globalist bullshit than anybody else. You know?
Well, I think they'd probably have that in common.
Yeah, which I feel like would make them not like you. Well, maybe they'd both respect that, you know, the other one didn't want anything to do with them. Yeah, no, that'd be a weird one. People in fucking Europe and shit are fucking funny though. You know? You don't their politics
Yeah.
are just different. It's just a different world they live in, which is fine. It's a good thing.
Yeah, they don't really have like just the way we mentioned it, right? Like a Boris Johnson rally. They don't exactly do rallies over there, I don't think. Not quite like how we do
Dude, they
rallies.
don't campaign but for like 4 months.
Yeah. If that, dude. I think in France it's like 2 months. It might not even be that long. Their election seasons are so short, it's crazy. Like our elections last forever. And election season basically always feels like it never ends. There's just always some shit going on. But over there, they wrap it up in a couple of months. They don't drag it out. They don't do anything. I mean, there's definitely, I don't know. There's pros and cons to that for sure. Is it better? Is it a better system? I don't know. Maybe, but it also might not be. Maybe giving people more time to think about their candidates leads to people making better decisions about who they vote for. I don't know that, but maybe it does.
God damn. Shit, let's wrap this motherfucker up.
Yeah.
So fucking goddamn, what are your closing words for the fucking good people of Twitter?
Uh, yeah, no. UFC 280, hell of a card. I don't even remember who's fighting next month, but I'm sure there's some bangers out there. Gonna be a lot of fun. Uh, don't trust China.
China's no good.
RIP, RIP Liz Truss's political
Yeah.
career.
Damn, who else?
Um,
Fucking
who else needs a shout out? Oh, fuck, we didn't mention him before, but Christian McCaffrey getting traded to the 49ers.
congratulations, brother.
Fucking,
Wait to get off that
yeah,
second trip.
congratulations, dude.
God damn.
Yeah, look forward to you winning a ring in a few
Yeah.
months.
God damn.
I don't know about that. Maybe though. Yeah, no, that's all I got. What else do we need? Anything else we need to close out
Shit,
with?
no, I think we're about good. I think that covers all the fucking things.
No. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, not bad. This has been our second time doing a live show
I think it,
on our eighth episode together. It's not bad. It's an all right thing. Twitter Spaces. The only thing I don't like is that I have to record with
yeah,
my
it
phone.
sucks.
That's really it. If that was not an impediment, I think we might do this a bit more than we do. But I don't know. Shit, maybe we hop in here, sooner than we
Sooner
think.
than we think. Give it another shot. All right, yeah. No, fucking with that.
Right? Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Thank
it.
you everybody for fucking joining. All the fucking people who I see did not show up. All righty. Well, yeah. Fucking y'all take it easy.
All right, that's
All
it.
right.